Breaking developments are raising new questions about rising tensions in the Middle East. Recent reports circulating in major media outlets suggest that Russia may be assisting Iran as the conflict involving U.S. interests in the region continues to escalate. According to several reports, Russia could be providing logistical or intelligence support to Iran. Some officials cited in media coverage claim that information about the locations of American military assets may have been shared, potentially allowing Iranian forces to target those positions with drones or missile systems. There are also reports suggesting that China may be offering various forms of support to Iran as well. These developments were brought up during a recent press interaction involving former President Donald Trump. A reporter from Fox News, Peter Doocy, questioned Trump about the reports suggesting Russia might be helping Iran target American interests in the region. Trump responded strongly to the question and criticized the reporter, saying he believed the question was inappropriate at the moment and calling it a stupid question. The exchange happened during a press conference that, interestingly, was not focused on the war or international conflict. Instead, the event centered largely on Trump discussing policies related to college athletes and compensation for the use of their name, image, and likeness. When asked about Russia's alleged involvement in the conflict, Trump pushed back and insisted that the discussion should stay focused on the topic of the press conference. After the press conference ended, Peter Doocy later discussed the interaction on Fox News. He explained that he had attempted to ask the former president about reports claiming Russia may be helping Iran identify American targets in the region. According to Doocy, Trump declined to address the question and instead dismissed it, emphasizing that he wanted to keep the conversation focused on the issue of college sports policy. Meanwhile, reporting from the Washington Post cited officials familiar with intelligence assessments who said that Russia may have provided Iran with information regarding the locations of certain U.S. military assets in the Middle East, including ships and aircraft. If accurate, analysts say this could represent one of the first signs that another major global power is indirectly involved in the broader conflict. Because of the sensitivity of the intelligence, the officials quoted in the report spoke anonymously. When asked about the claims, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov declined to comment. At the same time, the White House has presented a very different perspective. Officials have argued that Iran's military capabilities are being significantly weakened and that retaliatory actions from Iran are becoming less effective as operations continue. Critics, however, argue that the situation may be more complicated. They point to continued drone launches, rising oil prices, and disruptions to shipping routes as signs that the conflict may still be expanding. Energy markets have also been reacting to the uncertainty. Oil prices have climbed, and gas prices have shown signs of increasing as concerns grow about supply disruptions in the region. During a separate interview, White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt was asked about the reports suggesting Russia may be sharing intelligence with Iran. She said that the administration does not comment on leaked intelligence reports and emphasized that the United States military continues to have the upper hand in the conflict. Her response drew criticism from commentators who believe that any potential foreign support to Iran, especially from a major power like Russia, should be treated as a serious issue. Another development attracting attention involves U.S. economic policy related to Russian energy exports. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent recently discussed decisions surrounding global oil supply, including allowing India to temporarily continue purchasing certain Russian oil shipments in order to prevent disruptions in the global market. According to Bessent, the move was intended to stabilize energy supply during the ongoing conflict. He also suggested that additional adjustments could be considered if necessary to prevent a shortage of oil worldwide. Supporters say these decisions could help stabilize global energy markets. Critics argue they could also provide significant economic benefits to Russia during a period of geopolitical tension. Bessent also commented on the military campaign involving Iran, saying that upcoming operations could focus on targeting missile launch systems and facilities used to produce those weapons. According to him, the goal is to significantly reduce Iran's ability to launch missiles or conduct further attacks. While those international developments unfold, another major issue has emerged domestically involving environmental policy. The Trump administration has moved to eliminate the endangerment finding, a scientific determination made in 2009 that greenhouse gases pose a threat to public health and the environment. That finding allowed the Environmental Protection Agency to regulate carbon emissions under the Clean Air Act. Experts from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health recently released an analysis warning that removing that determination could weaken pollution controls. According to their research, increased pollution levels are linked to higher risks of asthma, heart disease, respiratory illness, and premature deaths, particularly in communities located near highways and industrial facilities. Researchers also warn that rising temperatures can worsen air quality and contribute to extreme weather events that impact public health systems. Supporters of stronger climate regulations argue that policies aimed at reducing emissions have historically improved air quality and extended life expectancy. Meanwhile, footage circulating online appears to show large airstrikes targeting locations near Tehran's Mehrabad International Airport. Officials have not yet confirmed the full details of the strikes, and investigations are ongoing. Reporters also asked the White House about an investigation into claims that a strike may have hit a school building in Iran. Officials said the Pentagon is reviewing the situation and that additional information will be released once the investigation is complete. Despite the seriousness of the international situation, Trump's press conference remained focused primarily on domestic policy. He spoke extensively about his proposal to potentially sign an executive order related to compensation rules for college athletes. Trump suggested he may work with advisors and legal experts to develop policies addressing how athletes can profit from their name, image, and likeness. Some reporters attempted to shift the discussion toward other issues, including cabinet changes and national security concerns, but Trump repeatedly asked journalists to remain focused on the topic of college athletics. At one point, a reporter asked why no student athletes were present during a discussion about policies that directly affect them. An administration representative responded that agents and representatives were present and said athletes themselves would be consulted in future meetings. Another question directed at the White House involved Trump's statement calling for Iran's unconditional surrender. Officials explained that the phrase refers to the point at which U.S. leadership determines that Iran no longer poses a threat to American interests or security objectives. Whether that would involve a formal agreement or simply a military assessment remains unclear. Meanwhile, statements from Iranian political leaders suggest that the country intends to continue resisting outside pressure. At the same time, NBC News has reported that Trump has privately discussed the possibility of deploying a limited number of U.S. ground troops inside Iran for specific strategic missions. According to officials familiar with those discussions, no final decision has been made and no orders have been issued. Still, the conversations highlight the seriousness of the situation and how quickly tensions could escalate if the conflict continues to expand. For now, the situation in the region remains uncertain, with multiple global powers involved and intense political debate taking place both in Washington and internationally. The coming weeks could determine whether tensions stabilize or continue to grow. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay updated, make sure to subscribe for more analysis and breaking coverage.